Welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Prof channel on YouTube, and the video today, Apple at critical levels. Now, I said this before in this morning's update, and you can see a link to it here, that Apple was at critical levels and traders and investors were watching those levels. And it's a technical term, and not everyone is going to know what I meant when I said Apple was at the 50-day moving average. And if you don't know, let me just get into it a little bit. 50-day moving average is a technical term from technical analysis, which is a fancy way of saying people who use charts to graph where stocks have been trading. And it ties in with psychological levels. The people who believe in charts believe that they show graphically psychological levels for investors. So to use Apple as an example, and I'm going to put up the chart so you can see it. It's pretty clear right here that we're at the 50-day moving average, is that over the last 50 days, this is the average of where the stock has traded. And conversely, a lot of people own the stock here. So if the stock is above 110, people feel better, they feel smarter, and they've made money. They're profitable on their investment. Conversely, if the shares are below 110, let's say they're at 100, people feel less smart, they're losing money, and they're a little nervous. Now, those are all important things because those trends can play upon themselves and create momentum, either to the upside or the downside. And why this is even more important for investors, even if you don't own Apple, is that passive investors in the S&P 500 own so much of Apple. Apple is such a large component of the S&P right now that it actually impacts the entire market. I don't have the number in front of me, but I know it's just been this huge amount of exposure in the S&P 500, and then you have the added exposure of famous investor Warren Buffett owning a large stake in Apple. Reports have him at 40% of his portfolio is in Apple, so he has a large stake. He's a big fan of the stock. So I'm not going to get into my personal views on the stock. I know a lot of people on YouTube are out there hawking videos saying, telling you to buy this stock or sell that stock, or I'm not sure that I want to do that. I'd rather be objective and give you information. But I will get into PE expansion and the growth. And if you just objectively look at Apple, you've had this tremendous PE expansion. You've got a 10% growth stock, and the PE is trading at 33. And generally speaking, I'm actually gonna do a separate video on PE, which is the price-earnings ratio, but it's basically a gauge of how expensive a stock is. So if you can look at it generally, this is a 10% growth stock trading at 33 times that growth, which is very, very high. Ideally, investors like Peter Lynch would say you really want to be paying 1 to 1.5 times growth for growth stocks. And not to get off topic, but this market is so expensive right now, it's very hard to find stocks that are trading at rational levels. So investors are in this period where you either pay up for growth or it's hard to find stocks that are undervalued. So I'll do some extra videos on the role of the Federal Reserve in creating this environment and interest rate levels and why that's happening. But for today, to wrap up this video, Apple's at a critical level. It's at the 50-day moving average. A lot of investors and a lot of traders are watching to see which way it goes because it impacts not only Apple stock, but it actually impacts the S&P 500 and kind of investor sentiment overall. So Apple's at a critical level and it's worth watching. So that is the video. Hopefully you learned something from this. If you did, leave a comment. And if you like more educational videos, definitely let me know because I love feedback. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in.